Okay, so something else we've been doing in class, just because base 10 blocks are hard to use sometimes, is we've been drawing our base 10 blocks instead of grabbing the actual ones. So at home, this could be a great way to do a problem using the model I just showed you in the previous video, because everyone can use pencil and paper. Not everyone has the base 10 blocks. So what I would do and what we've been doing in class is we've just been using our desks to write on. If you have a whiteboard, that's great. It's a little bit easier than pencil and paper, but I'm just going to walk you through the same thing now without using base 10 blocks and instead just using a model of base 10 blocks. So to start, we still have the same problem, 267 divided by 3. And if I'm going to build this number with 10 blocks, I would have 2 hundreds, 6 tens, and 7 ones. Okay, and then I'd say I'm going to put these things into 3 equal groups. Turn this so you can see it a little better. So I'm putting these things into 3 equal groups. And I really want students to understand that division is repeated subtraction. I'm starting with a total number, and I'm slowly getting rid of parts of it until I have equal groups at the end. Multiplication is the opposite of this. It's repeated addition. So you can always use multiplication to check our answer. So I would start with the hundreds. I still tell students to do this. Hundreds, then tens, then ones. So I start with my hundreds and I think to myself, if I have 2 hundreds and I need to make 3 equal groups, how many hundreds could I put in each group? Well, I don't have enough to put 1 in each group, so the answer for this situation would be 0. I can't put any in the groups. So I didn't take away anything yet. I would just subtract 0. But now that I've done my hundreds, I need to move on to my tens. So I'm going to have to trade in my hundreds for tens. So this is where it's kind of nice. If you have an expo marker, it's easier to erase. But if you're using pencil and paper, I would just cross out the 100 maybe. And now I'm going to make 10 tens. And I'll erase this. I'm going to exchange it for tens. Okay, so now I have 20 tens that I just added, and I already had 6 tens here, so I can just bring down my tens so that all of my tens are together in my problem. And so now I'm going to ask myself, if I have 26 tens, how many tens can I put in each of these 3 groups to make them equal? And if we know our threes, our 3 facts, multiples of 3, we can count by 3s until we figure it out. I could ask myself, what times 3 will get me really close to this number? And I know that 3 times 8 is 24, and 3 times 9 is 27, which is too much. So 8 things will be the best I can do because they have to be equal groups. So I will put 8 things in each group. So I put my 8 here, and after I've moved 8 things into each group, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 things into one group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 things into my second group. And 8 things into my third group. I'm trying to do it like a student would do it. They'd probably count each one. Okay, then I should have 2 tens left. And my step that I'm recording here, because division is repeated subtraction, I need to record how much did I just place into a group. I have to keep track of it, right? So I just put 8, 16, 24 things total into groups. And so I only have 2 tens left, right? And now I've done my tens, I have to move on to my ones. So my question might be, what would we do with these? And I'm sure you're catching on, so you already know. I'm going to turn each of these tens into ones. So if I get rid of 2 tens, that'd be the same as 20 ones. So I have 20 ones that I just added right here. But I also had these ones I started with, which is why we can bring our ones down. I have 27 ones that now I have to place into equal groups. So I might ask myself, what times 3 will get me close to 27, right? What can I have 3 times in each of these groups so that I don't have to move one thing at a time? So again, I'd use my multiples of 3's, and I know 3 times 9 is 27 exactly. So that means I can put 9 things in each of these groups. 9 things and 9 things in each group. And 9 things into 3 groups means that I just placed 27 total things, and I have nothing left. I have 0 things left. So I found the answer to my problem. If I have 267 things, I split them into 3 equal groups, I get 89 things in each group. And you can even check here, I have 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89 things. And I can count all 3 to make sure they're the same. And I have finished my problem now.